Welcome back to Final Moments, where we pay tribute to the lives and legacies of those who have passed away. Today, we remember and reflect on the lives of remarkable individuals who have shaped our history in their unique ways. From the bright lights of entertainment to the hard-fought battles for justice, these icons have left an indelible mark on the world. If you find these stories meaningful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest videos. Join us as we honor their lives and the impact they've had. Number 1. Kim Sae-ron. She was a shining star in South Korea's entertainment industry, captivating audiences from a young age with her raw talent and emotional depth. But behind the bright lights of fame, Kim Sae-ron faced struggles that ultimately led to a heartbreaking ending. Today, we look back at the life and legacy of Kim Sae-ron. Born on July 31, 2000 in Seoul, South Korea, Kim Sae-ron stepped into the limelight at a very young age. She started her career as a child model in 2001 before transitioning to acting. At just 9 years old, she made her acting debut in the critically acclaimed film A Brand New Life in 2009. Her heart-wrenching performance as an abandoned orphan won the hearts of audiences and critics alike, even taking her to the prestigious Cannes Film Festival. In 2010, Kim's role in The Man from Nowhere alongside veteran actor Won Bin cemented her status as a rising star. The film became the highest-grossing movie of the year in South Korea, and Kim's portrayal of Jung Soo-mi, a young girl caught in a dangerous crime ring, earned her numerous awards and recognition. As she grew older, Kim continued to take on challenging roles. She starred in dramas like The Queen's Classroom 2013 and High School Love On 2014, proving her versatility as an actress. In 2014, her performance in A Girl at My Door was praised worldwide, once again bringing her to Cannes. Her ability to portray deep emotional characters at such a young age set her apart from many of her peers. In May 2022, Kim Sae-ron's life took a turn when she was involved in a DUI incident. She crashed her car into a transformer, causing a power outage that affected local businesses for hours. The backlash was swift, and she faced heavy criticism from the public. Kim publicly apologized, but the damage to her career was significant. She stepped down from projects, including the SBS drama Trolley. On February 16, 2025, Kim Sae-ron was found dead in her home in Seoul. She was just 24 years old. Authorities confirmed her passing as a suicide, leaving fans and the entertainment industry in shock. A close friend discovered her body after she failed to respond to messages. Kim Sae-ron's passing has reignited conversations about the pressures of fame, the weight of public scrutiny, and the need for mental health support in the entertainment industry. Despite her struggles, she leaves behind a legacy of incredible performances and unforgettable moments. Number 2. Nelson Johnson. In 1979, a tragic moment in American history shook the city of Greensboro, North Carolina. White supremacists, in an unprovoked act of violence, took the lives of 5 protesters and left many others wounded. Among the injured that day was Nelson Johnson, a local labor leader, civil rights activist, and a key figure in the struggle against racism and injustice in the South. Today, we honor the life and work of Reverend Nelson Johnson, who passed away at the age of 81, leaving behind a powerful legacy of activism, faith, and unwavering dedication to justice. Born in Littleton, North Carolina in 1943, Nelson Johnson's journey into activism began early. He became involved with the civil rights movement during his time at North Carolina A&T University, a hub for student-led protests. It was here that Johnson, alongside his peers, began organizing for racial justice, workers' rights, and economic equality. But it was his role in the 1979 Greensboro massacre that would forever change the course of his life. On November 3rd, 1979, Johnson and his fellow activists were organizing a Death to a Clan rally to combat the rise of white supremacist groups in their city. The confrontation that followed would come to be known as the Greensboro Massacre. In less than 2 minutes, 5 protesters were killed, including a close friend of Johnson, and several others, including Nelson himself, were severely wounded. He was stabbed in the arm, but the real wound was the loss of life, the lives cut short by the bullets of hate. In the years that followed, Nelson Johnson refused to allow the massacre to define him. His heart for justice led him down a path of deep healing, both for himself and his community. He founded the beloved Community Center, a place where local residents would come together to promote racial hearing, empowerment, and social justice. He spent years advocating for a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to examine the events of the Greensboro Massacre, similar to the one established in post-apartheid South Africa. Despite resistance from the city and government, Nelson and his wife George were steadfast in their effort. Nelson Johnson's work went beyond the massacre. He continued to fight for workers' rights, racial injustice, and economic equality throughout his life. His mentorship shaped generations of activists and leaders both in Greensboro and across the country. Even as he became a pillar of the community, his unwavering commitment to justice and truth kept him at odds with those in power. As Greensboro's mayor once called him, he was the most dangerous man in Greensboro. But that danger wasn't to the community, it was to the forces that thrived on injustice. In his later years, Johnson saw the city of Greensboro begin to take steps toward acknowledging the past. In 2015, after years of tireless advocacy, the state of North Carolina placed a historical marker at the site of the Greensboro Massacre, a small but significant step in a city that had long resisted facing its dark history. Number 3. Antonine Maillet. Today, we remember a literary giant, a voice for Acadia, and a trailblazer in Canadian literature. Antonine Maillet, a celebrated novelist and playwright, has passed away at the age of 95. Her impact on literature and Acadian identity will never be forgotten. Born on May 10, 1929 in Bouctouche, New Brunswick, Antonine Maillet was one of 9 children. She faced early hardships, losing her mother at 14 and her father 10 years later. But her love for literature guided her path. She earned degrees from College Notre Dame de Carré, Université de Moncton, and later a PhD in literature from Université Laval in 1971. In 1979, she became the first non-European to win the prestigious Prix Goncourt for her novel Pelagie Les Charrettes. This book, a tale of resilience and the Acadian people's journey, sold over 1 million copies. Her play La Seguin, first performed in 1971, was a cultural phenomenon. Starring Viola Léger, it gave a voice to Acadian history and struggles, sparking pride and a revival of Acadian identity. She taught at universities across Canada, including Université de Moncton, Université Laval, and Université de Montreal. She also worked as a scriptwriter and host for Radio Canada in Moncton, and even moderated a federal leaders' debate in 1988. In 2022, Maillet publicly came out as a lesbian, revealing her decades-long relationship with actress and theater director Mercedes Palomino, who passed away in 2006. Her courage and openness inspired many. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau honored Maillet's legacy, stating, "It is with great sadness that I learned of the passing of Antonine Maillet, a celebrated figure in Canadian literature and an unwavering voice for the Acadian community." Number 4. Paquita La del Barrio. The one and only Paquita La del Barrio has passed away at the age of 77. A voice that championed women, a fierce critic of machismo, and an icon of Mexican music, Paquita leaves behind a legacy that will never be forgotten. Born on April 2nd, 1947 in Alto Lucero, Veracruz, Francisca Viveros Baradas, better known as Paquita La del Barrio, began her musical journey in Mexico City in the 1970s. Singing in small restaurants, she captivated audiences with her powerful voice and fearless lyrics. But it wasn't until the 1980s that she truly gained national recognition. Paquita was a voice for the voiceless, especially women who had been wronged by men. Her music wasn't just entertainment, it was a call to arms against sexism and betrayal. Who could forget Rata de dos Patas, a song so scathing it became an anthem for women everywhere? Her contributions to Latin music were undeniable. From Grammy nominations to receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award at the Billboard Latin Music Awards, Paquita was recognized as a trailblazer in her field. Behind the music was a woman who lived through immense heartbreak. Her first marriage ended in betrayal when she discovered her husband had another family. She later found love again with Alfonso Martinez, who remained by her side until his passing in 2001. In 2021, she took her fight beyond music, running for a seat in the Congress of Veracruz. Paquita wasn't just a singer, she was a cultural phenomenon. She paved the way for female artists in a male-dominated industry and left an indelible mark on Latin music. On February 17, 2025, the world lost a legend. Paquita La del Barrio passed away at her home in Veracruz from a heart attack. Her music, her words, and her spirit will live on in the hearts of millions. Number 5. Ron Travisano. Madison Avenue in the 1970s was a wild creative playground, a time when advertising became more than just selling a product, it became entertainment. And at the heart of this revolution was one man, Ron Travisano. A visionary art director, Ron Travisano turned mundane products into cultural icons with campaigns that were clever, witty, and, most importantly, unforgettable. Take Mumix, for example. Just another cat food until Ron and his team spotted a cat on film doing something hilarious. It was actually choking on its food, but to them, it looked like it was singing. That moment of inspiration turned into one of the most beloved ads in history, winning awards and embedding itself in pop culture. Then there was Joe Isuzu, the fast-talking, over-the-top liar who made outrageous claims about his cars. Thanks to Ron's vision, the campaign became so iconic that during a 1988 presidential debate, Michael Dukakis called George H.W. Bush the Joe Isuzu of American politics. But Ron wasn't just about gimmicks. He was an artist, a photographer, and a director. He had an eye for detail, bringing a level of realism to commercials that made them feel authentic even when they were wildly exaggerated. From luxury cars to fine wine, Ron's work spanned industries, always injecting creativity and humor where it was least expected. His career began at a time when advertising was evolving, and he thrived in an era where risks were rewarded. He co-founded Della Femina, Travisano and Partners, an agency that grew to handle $350 million in billings. Ron Travisano passed away in 2025 at the age of 87 due to natural causes. His impact on the world of advertising will continue to inspire generations to come. Number 6. Yolanda Montes. In the golden age of Mexican cinema, there was one name that captivated audiences with her hypnotic moves and undeniable presence, Tongolele. But who was the woman behind this legend? How did a young girl from Spokane, Washington, become the undisputed queen of exotic dance in Mexico? Born Yolanda Ivonne Montes Farrington on January 3, 1932 in Spokane, Washington, she showed a passion for dance at an early age. She trained in ballet as a child, but her destiny lay far beyond traditional forms of movement. Her journey took an unexpected turn when she joined a Tahitian dance review in San Francisco. Little did she know, this would be the first step toward a career that would span more than 6 decades. In 1947, at just 15 years old, Yolanda Montes arrived in Mexico City, a place that would soon make her a legend. She was hired by Americo Mancini, a theater impresario, and before long, she was performing at the famous Cabaret Tivoli. With her platinum hair, striking features, and mesmerizing dance style, a fusion of African, Tahitian, and modern influences, she became an overnight sensation. But it wasn't just her beauty or talent that drew people in, it was her raw power and hypnotic energy on stage. She earned the nickname Tongalele, a mix of African and Tahitian words, symbolizing the exotic and mysterious aura she brought to the stage. She wasn't just dancing, she was commanding the audience's attention with every move. Mexican journalist Carlos Estrada Lang crowned her the Queen of Tahitian Dance. As her fame skyrocketed, Hollywood and the Mexican film industry took notice. In 1948, she made her cinematic debut in Nocturne of Love, and soon after, she starred in Han Matado a Tongalele, a film that played on her own stardom. On February 16, 2025, the world said goodbye to one of the last remaining stars of Mexico's golden age of cinema. After battling Alzheimer's for years, she passed away at the age of 93, leaving behind a legacy that will never be forgotten.